Hi! Session 3.3 is all about the trial integration meeting. This meeting is essential as the first face-to-face meeting to align all stakeholders of your trial. This session is targeted at trial organizers, solution providers, developers, and technicians. By completing this session, you understand the role, scope, and extent of a trial integration meeting, the preparation and execution activities between solution selection and trial execution, the process of integrating the results of a TIM into a harmonized trial script, and the technical and methodological milestones to achieve as described in the trial action plan.
The previous session presented you an overview of the entire execution phase. Let us now dive deeper into the first step of this phase, the trial integration meeting, or in short, the TIM. The main objective of this meeting is to make sure everyone is aligned and have the same vision of how the trial will be executed. Also, all needed functionalities are described in this meeting and the data collection is determined. A TIM can take 1 up to 3 days. This meeting should at least involve all 4 coordination roles. Of course, more people, such as solution providers and practitioners, are more than advised to join as well. After all, the main objective is to get everyone aligned. You have done all the preparatory steps. Now you have to execute the trial and make sure you capture that data. You already know the transition from preparation to execution is neither simple nor fast. You will be oscillating between methodological and practical preparations for some time, until you finally manage to finish and freeze fundamental parts of your trial design. The trial integration meeting aims at confirming that everyone is on the same page, and all needed functionalities are described and the data collection determined. In short, it aims at achieving mutual understanding. Second, but still highly important goal, is to set an action plan for the whole execution phase. The third major point on the agenda is to discuss all technical aspects and logistics. The TIM is also a special event at which, most probably for the first time, practitioners, solution providers, and technicians will meet. Remember that the aim of the meeting is not only technical, but also the evaluation, scenario, and logistical sides need to be integrated in one full plan. That is why we propose to inspire yourself with the following division when drafting a TIM agenda. First, start plenary with explaining the precise idea and direction you wish to proceed with your trial. Save enough time for this, as you would like to discuss with all involved the general idea and ensure that all participants agree with it. You should discuss all core organizational topics. After achieving common understanding and agreement, divide yourselves into 2 teams or tracks and further develop your trial in both a technical and a more conceptual perspective. Here you can see how the conceptual track and technical track during a TIM can look like. Look at the differences. Where the conceptual track is most probably most shaped like a stand-up workshop with loads of flipovers and process flowcharts, the technical track is more about techies diving into their laptops and tools and making sure it all works together. In spite of this, both tracks are connected with each other and carried out simultaneously. Also, both tracks should result in a clear action plan with tasks to do, by whom and by when. For instance, written down on 2 flipcharts. This is another way of looking at the TIM agenda. The conceptual track is shown on the left and the technical track is on the right. Note that both tracks result in concrete plans, and all these plans come together in the trial script. You should start the TIM with a collective or plenary part. Gather your full trial committee and other stakeholders and discuss the roles and responsibilities. Do not forget to present the solutions selected for assessment to all. And talk about the internal communications plan to ensure that you can easily exchange documents and attend follow-up meetings. Especially in larger trials, it is recommended to set a recurring progress and update meeting, either as a physical meeting or as a teleconference. Align your calendars and set precise dates for the coming events, the 2 dry runs and of course the trial itself. And discuss your gaps and research questions thoroughly. When they are clear to all, proceed with the preliminary scenario. Although your scenario may never be leading, explaining the crisis you are thinking about results in everything making much more sense to all attendees. Explain the baseline, suggest how the innovation line can look like and which effects you expect. At the end of this part, you want everyone to understand and agree with that setup. Then the group can split. The conceptual track should discuss the solution's use cases from a practical point of view, focusing on how they fit in the innovation line and which functionalities you wish to try out during your trial. Do not forget to jointly agree on the data collection and objectives for evaluation. After this, you should be able to draw a detailed innovation line. Detail this line primarily for those periods in time where your gaps appear most prominently. In the meantime, the technicians and developers can focus on the technical setup and the integration of the solutions. Integration here means that the solutions are connected with the testbed technical infrastructure, and thus with each other, and that legacy systems which are needed are connected as well. Also, do not forget about whether it is needed to use simulators, data sources, and other technical tools. All these technical details should be gathered in form of a data integration plan and in data integration tests plans. After 2 parallel sessions, bring back your team and ask them to brief each other. When everyone is back on the same page, work together and integrate your conclusions into the trial script, your master plan or playbook describing how and in which order you are going to execute your trial, and that is connected to your data collection plan. At this moment, the data collection plan should already be in line with the selected evaluation approach. Before finishing, do not forget about other important topics such as societal impact assessment, external cooperation, and risk assessment for the whole event. Let's recap the inputs and outputs of the trial integration meeting. Your input in this phase is the trial context, information about the solution selected, the baseline and draft innovation line. Each of these are outputs from the preparation phase. Your output after the TIM are a clear definition of practitioner and solution needs, the innovation line, the technical data integration plan, and scenario input. During the TIM, it is useful to use interview techniques, joint discussions, and process mapping, for instance, to draw out the innovation line by help of both fellow practitioners and solution providers. Tools that are recommended for use are flow diagrams, whiteboards with sticky notes, the testbed technical infrastructure, of course the solutions, and the trial action plan. When you are organizing your own trial integration meeting, keep in mind the following checklist. Check if the initial list of external stakeholders has been made and whether the baseline and the draft innovation line are drawn out. If these 2 have been checked off, the trial integration meeting is ready to be executed. During this meeting, be sure to make a data integration plan, including a design how the solutions will be integrated. Formulate for each solution the use cases and key events to be played out, and jointly agree with all participants on the data collection plan and evaluation approaches you are going to use. There is also an additional tip. As this is the first physical work meeting between solution providers and the trial committee, make sure all legal issues relevant to participation are covered. If a societal impact assessment was not carried out during the solution selection process, this is a good time to do it.